breaking news alerts, overnight news, plus weather and traffic every 10 minutes. This is CBS 47 on your side this morning.
We were speechless when we heard it. I played it for my wife, and she was like, what do you think it could possibly be?
New on CBS 47 this morning, South Valley parents in shock after an elementary school janitor gets thrown in jail. A former high school basketball coach accused of killing a boy in a drunk driving crash will head to trial.
I'm hearing that, well, these guys have guns and those guys have guns.
And another tense day expected in Coors Gold right around Chancey Gold Casino. Good morning on this Wednesday. I'm Zara Arboleta. It is 5:31, 41 degrees outside our studios. Here's a live look at Capitol Hill right now. Sequestration talks hopefully getting underway, although neither side's really negotiating on budget cut discussions because mandatory cuts do go into effect Friday if Congress doesn't come up with a plan with the president. We'll have more on that story in a moment, but first let's get a check of pinpoint weather with Jenny.
Good morning, Zara. Good morning, everybody. And we'll see plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures climbing this week near records by the end of the week, but still a little bit of frost this morning. Let's take a look at our current wind speeds right now. Those are staying light, so no warmth provided by the wind, and we're down around freezing in Lemoore at 31 degrees there. Rest of the valley at 36 or warmer, so mid-30s to low 40s for most areas. 43 in Fresno right now, 40 in Madera, and temperatures are going to warm up quickly. Upper 40s by 8 o'clock, mid-50s by 10. Beautiful at noon if you want to swing by our station on your lunch hour to make a donation. We're going to be in the low 60s then with 67 for your high today. We'll have more on your forecast in a couple of minutes.
New this morning, CBS 47 breaking the news to parents late last night in Visalia that a janitor at Oak Grove Elementary is under arrest. We got his mugshot into the newsroom overnight. 30-year-old Antonio Cordova is now on leave. He's accused of committing disturbing acts on kids. South Valley parents heard the news first from an automated message, but not much news.
I have been investigating some allegations against an employee at our school.
I was driving by and saw the news crew out here, and just living close by like this, it was a little concerning.
Several moms and dads didn't even hear about what happened until CBS 47 crews told them. A janitor under arrest for lewd acts on a child.
Yeah, stuff like this just does not happen, and so that's why it was a little concerning for me.
In custody, 30-year-old Antonio Cordova, who works at Oak Grove Elementary School. The victims, apparently 2 students.
Yeah, it's absolutely mind-boggling. This is one of the outstanding schools. It's recognized by the state of California as one of the better schools, and to hear that is just devastating.
Joseph Buell has a first grader at Oak Grove.
Makes me concerned because if it's a custodian, it could have been any kid. It's not maybe isolated to one particular room. Or
this dad wishing he got more information on the case.
I wish they would have been a little more forthright in telling us what it was. And after what you said, I was completely shocked.
And we are working to get more information from the district and Visalia police. They're expected to release more details later today. New this morning, an office shooting in Switzerland. 3 people are dead, at least 7 others injured. Someone walked in and started firing at Kronospan. It's a wood processing company. Investigators still trying to figure out the shooter's motive and whether a former employee was involved. We'll bring you more information on that story as well as it comes into the newsroom. And this morning in Santa Cruz, police mourning 2 detectives killed in the line of duty. They were following up on an investigation yesterday afternoon when Jeremy Goulet shot them. He was also killed. This is the first time Santa Cruz has ever lost an officer on duty. A teenager in Porterville continues to recover this morning after a deadly crash there. It happened after police tried to pull over the driver for a possible DUI near Olive and Plano. While the officer was dealing with the driver, a passenger jumped into the driver's seat, then crashed into a tree.
Worst case scenario, we're looking at a possible DUI arrest, maybe an open container if there were indications that there was an open container in the vehicle, maybe even a worst case scenario of contributing alcohol to a minor. But all of those offenses don't have any weight compared to having 2 lost lives.
The driver who fled in the car died along with another teenager. The 3rd passenger is expected to recover. A former Valley High School basketball coach now waits for his trial. A judge ruled there is enough evidence against Lauren LeBeau to go to trial. He is accused of driving drunk and killing 7-year-old Donovan Maldonado. LeBeau's attorney admits his client was under the influence, but hopes the family won't put LeBeau through the ordeal of a criminal trial.
If there's a way we can handle this case that makes it easier on them, we would like to do it in that way.
LeBeau heads back to court March 13th. Some people living next door to Chuck Chansey Gold Casino in Coarse Gold may have a tough time getting to their homes. As CBS 47's Lamore Abrams shows us, the tribe is in the middle of yet another feud.
Roads leading into Chuck Chansey Casino are blocked to everyone except people who show proof they live around the Indian land. Officers from Madera to Mariposa to Fresno counties are standing by, ready to go in. These pictures taken by law enforcement in areas local media have not been allowed to access.
We heard that there was going to be a rush on the compound by a bunch of people that are outside of it. One faction has control of the compound, the other one's locked outside, locked away.
Madera County Sheriff John Anderson says tensions started rising Thursday after a referendum which led the tribal council to split again, leading to threats of violence.
I'm hearing that, well, these guys have guns and those guys have guns and those kind of things. And so far, those are unsubstantiated rumors, but we're not going to let the thing happened, what happened last year.
It's also the 1-year anniversary since the tribal faction split after a disputed election, and the opposing tribal factions erupted into chaos. Last year, there was violence and injuries. One man was stabbed in the stomach, another beaten. All this as two groups claim to be in charge of the Chuck Chansey Indian tribe. Sheriff Anderson also says he's trying to broker an agreement to reach a peace deal of sorts. He's speaking to 2 tribal attorneys, hoping to arrange a face-to-face meeting with the tribes and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. But last year, the BIA didn't want to get involved, saying this is a local tribal issue.
It's probably not even my job, but somebody's got to get these people together so that we're not all standing out here in the cold all night trying to avoid violence.
Lamore Abrams, CBS 47 on your side.
5:37, Yosemite National Park wants your opinion about a new $15 million project involving giant sequoias. A special delivery for the Discovery Center. We have a sneak peek at some of its newest equipment. And more sports news, another #1 team going down in a huge upset in college hoops. But first, here's a live look at New York City, Times Square. Let's look at the big NASDAQ sign out there. Trading doesn't begin for another hour. We'll have that a little bit later in the newscast.
Settle down, it'll all be clear.
Missing